Who is Caleb Williams? He's a top quarterback, 24/7 Sports composite rankings, 4th overall in the class of 2021, 6'2", 209 pounds, dual threat guy in Washington, D.C.
The number 1 quarterback in the country who is the apple of Lincoln Riley's eye is going to end up in Norman. I think that's still everyone's expectation.
The dreams are so close, I can hear the applause. Wake up in the morning, put my game face on, the main event, the man in the mirror and me.
The final pitch here by Maryland, just a continued effort to recruit Caleb Williams. You never know what could happen.
Over the hurdles, through the obstacles, and anyone who said it was impossible. I'm crucial, this I promise you we.
The tape speaks for itself, but we'll do you one better. We're joined now by the top-ranked quarterback in the nation for the class of 2021, Caleb Williams. Caleb, excited moments ahead. What's the day been like for you? Just another 4th of July in the books?
No, a little bit more exciting. Normally we have parties and things like that on 4th of July, but this is a little different party, and I can't wait.
They are already popping in celebration, some fireworks behind you. They're going to have plenty of reason to do so in just a few minutes, but this is an exciting moment in any young athlete's life. You're not just any other athlete, and this isn't just any other day. How'd you decide you wanted to do this, make your decision on the 4th of July?
So like I said, we normally have parties on 4th of July. It's normally like my favorite time of the year. My uncle normally throws a party, so I ended up, wanting to make this kind of a party, kind of an exciting moment, and fireworks shooting up in the air when I announce.
Well, it will be a fond memory on 4th of July's to come. As you get ready to make your commitment here, still so many things up in the air around the country. What's it been like going through recruitment and that process during quarantine times?
It hasn't really changed for me. I had a top 3, I made a top 5 during quarantine. I made a top 3 during quarantine too. And I'm making this commitment during quarantine. But the coaches kind of knew that I've never really been like a heavily, I need to talk to a coach every day type of guy. So it hasn't really changed much for me.
All right, well, we are set to share your commitment with the country. Caleb Williams, let's make it official.
They say life's about the journey. I say it's about choices. Those choices aren't always easy. The choice to leave. The choice to work hard. The choice to be the best I can be.
You believe in you. You prepare and you expect to do great things because you have sacrificed.
When it gets hard, you have to have faith in yourself.
You could see that there was something special about him, when you watch his youth ball film. I love coaching Caleb because he's a great person.
You have to embrace the grind.
How we live, how we run, how we train, how we practice, how we meet, how we prepare.
There is nothing like faith and love.
Caleb Williams directing traffic all the way down.
You have to have trust in your brothers.
He's got him. Oh my goodness.
It was just too easy right there. They have found something.
Zaga up 2 scores. Caleb knew he had it.
He gets away from the defender. He's big. He's going to dive. Touchdown.
Is God purple? We're about to find out. Ball's in the air, and it is going to get there.
Because in the end, it's the hardest choices that matter the most.
Somebody get that! Get that! Purple Eagles win WCC!
One more choice.
Hey, what's up, Caleb? It's all about making good choices. Welcome to the family, and I wish you nothing but the best. Boomer Sooner.
So it is Boomer Sooner for the nation's top quarterback. He's got the garb to show for it already. No longer a recruit, now a commit, Caleb. I'm sure Coach Riley is setting off his own fireworks right around now. But what about that Oklahoma program made it feel like it was the only home for you?
Yes. With their past three quarterbacks, I just honestly felt like it was for me. And yeah, everybody in the background. But yes, no, I honestly felt like that was the most, best place for me overall. With what Coach Riley has been able to do, I kind of just want to learn and hopefully get to the next level.
I mean, you couldn't draw it up any better. 4th of July, fireworks going off behind you in your new school colors. The emotion right now, what are you feeling?
Excitement. I'm ready to, I got a year here, but I'm ready to go and kind of, gain the trust of my teammates, earn a starting spot, and hopefully help them get to a national championship.
Well, you said it, Oklahoma not only been a winning program as of late, but a quarterback factory these last few years. From Baker Mayfield to Kyler Murray, most recently Jalen Hurts. How much did those guys' success in Norman play into your decision?
It actually played a lot, to be honest. I would say from Baker to Kyler to Jalen Hurts, they all had different body types, different game plans they would have to go through to get ready to go and win the game that next week. For each year, he changed every year that they played. Kyler, he was probably the fastest guy. Baker was probably the slowest guy, and Jalen Hurts was the biggest guy and the strongest guy, and that's a whole different game plan. They all had different throw motions, different throws that they could make. And just being that versatile in the offense is awesome, and knowing that.
It is a next man up business, and you, my friend, will be next up. The bar for success at OU, once again, is college football playoff or bust. What do you hope to achieve once you get on campus?
First, I want to achieve the trust of my teammates, connect with them, and that will ultimately help me learn the playbook, and then hopefully get to the playoffs and win national championships.
Well, we are thrilled for you, Caleb. And before I let you go, I got to give you the stage. You got the mic and you got the moment. You have the eyes and ears of Sooner Nation right now. What do you want to tell them?
That's all I got.
There it is, the top-ranked quarterback in the nation in the class of 2021, Caleb Williams, going Boomer Sooner. Congrats, big fella. Keep on balling out, and we will talk to you soon.
Thank you. Will do.
All right, here is a look at the profile on Caleb Williams. If the interview tells you the man is wise beyond his years, he is headed to Norman to try and join that long list of quarterbacks seeing success in Lincoln Riley's offense. Ranked number 1 in the class of 2021 by 24/7 Sports, and number 4 player overall, named the MVP of the 2020 Elite 11 Finals, which is quarterback heaven for anyone who knows of it. And you can check the stats. The man has racked it up both through the air and on the ground. Here to add a little context to the commitment, Steve Wiltfong back on our airwaves alongside 24/7 Director of Scouting Barton Simmons. Barton, some guys can make a class for a coach in a program. Did Lincoln Riley just land his quarterback of the future in your eyes?
Yeah, absolutely. Number 1 quarterback in the country. Not too bad. And keep in mind, this is just 2 years removed from landing the number 1 quarterback in the country in Spencer Rattler. We're going to see him play this year. So Lincoln Riley's first high school quarterback, I'm expecting that to go pretty well. And I'm expecting it to go pretty well with Caleb Williams as well. You know, it's funny listening to Caleb Williams talk about the quarterback history and lineage there in Norman under Lincoln Riley. He talked about Baker Mayfield and the style of play he possesses, Kyler Murray, kind of the different style of play there, the bigger body Jalen Hurts. In some ways, Caleb Williams really kind of embodies a mix of all 3 of those guys. It has elements of all 3. He's bigger than Kyler Murray and Baker Mayfield, but he's not quite as nimble and agile as Kyler Murray. He's much more of an extend to play kind of guy like Baker Mayfield, but he can get vertical and run north-south and run away from you. And he's got an unbelievable arm. So, man, this is exactly the kind of quarterback you build an offense and you build a team around. Just a huge pickup for Lincoln Riley in Oklahoma.
Steve, as was eloquently put there, this kid is the complete package. Really has everything you want from both the athletic side, the mental side, the physical side, the temperament side for a quarterback. But for head coach Lincoln Riley, he's got to be just over the moon about this most recent commitment. Anytime you get the top-ranked quarterback in the nation, you're going to be happy. But what does this mean for Oklahoma's program as they move forward?
Well,
Oklahoma today has gone from number 31 in the 24/7 Sports recruiting rankings to number 14 with Caleb Williams in the fold. They also landed Latrell McCutcheon today. And I think the Sooner staff has been waiting for this domino to drop as they try and close this class strong and finish in the top 10 for the 4th time in 5 years. Now they can show, well, they've already been all in on guys like 5-star receiver Emeka Egbuka, 5-star running back Kamar Wheaton, 5-star offensive lineman Tristan Lay. These are guys that now know that Caleb Williams is for sure in the fold, and maybe he's a guy that can help push those guys over the top and in Oklahoma's favor as they battle Ohio State for Egbuka, Texas, LSU, and Alabama for Wheaton, and then several schools like Clemson and LSU for Tristan Lay.
Going big picture for a moment here, it's really a revolving door at the collegiate level, especially at the quarterback position these days, and Oklahoma is one of those places that does leave their door open to transfer types. Steve, how does that factor into recruiting these days?
Well, I think for Caleb Williams, he's a guy that's confident that he can go in there and compete and learn, and saw quarterbacks wait their turn at Oklahoma and come out the other side and be the first pick in the draft in Kyler Murray. And so, hey, Oklahoma, they got a chance to go out now and land number 1 in the 2022 class in Quinn Ewers. So this is a quarterback room that could get extremely competitive over the next couple years.
Yeah, I think if anything, the fact that the quarterback position is so fluid and the transfers are so common, it works both ways. Sure, maybe you're stepping into a situation where you never know who's going to transfer in, but just like we're seeing with all these quarterbacks have success in other spots, it works the opposite way. You could very well transfer out if things don't go well for you, and Caleb Williams is the type of player that is talented enough where, yes, he's expecting to go to Oklahoma and be the next great quarterback, be the next Heisman finalist, be the next first-round NFL draft pick. But if something happens along the way, if he misses out on the job, if someone transfers in, that's a guy that can go somewhere else and win a starting job right away and still have the same hopes and aspirations. We've seen it time and time again. In fact, the last 7 quarterbacks that followed an elite quarterback right in front of them with that competitive demeanor to get in there and battle for a job, 6 of them have been drafted or are about to be drafted following next year's draft. So I think that there's no reason to be scared, especially when you are a talent like Caleb Williams. We see these guys and we know that there's the ability there to find the field somewhere and be really successful. And I expect it to be at Oklahoma. He may have to wait a year behind Spencer Rattler, but he's going to have every opportunity to be really successful in Norman.
Yeah, talent all over the place, and there is only one number 1. It's held by Caleb Williams in the class of 2021. Really a scheme match made in heaven there in Norman. Barton, you kind of just teased a little bit there, but does this put Williams on a fast track to meaningful playing time?
Well, look, I think, again, because we look at the roster this year, Spencer Rattler has the opportunity to step into the starting job as a redshirt freshman. The 2021 season, presumably, will be the redshirt sophomore year as the starting job under Spencer Rattler with maybe a year to wait. But look, we're seeing it right now. DJ Uiagalelei, who was a 5-star quarterback in the last class, was willing to come in and wait for a year behind Trevor Lawrence at Clemson this fall. Bryce Young stepping in behind Mac Jones at Alabama, another 5-star. C.J. Stroud stepping in behind Justin Fields, a 5-star last year. So, sitting for a year is not necessarily something that's going to scare guys off. So I don't expect necessarily Caleb Williams to jump in there and immediately beat out Spencer Rattler, assuming Spencer has the kind of year maybe what we're envisioning for him. But certainly he has the ability. This is the type of player that can win a starting job as a freshman. This is the type of player that could compete at the highest level as a true freshman. And whenever that opportunity comes, I expect him to be ready. We're seeing a lot of freshmen as backups, whether it's injury or otherwise, win that job sooner or later. Caleb Williams, I think, is equipped for that kind of early career.
And we've seen Coach Riley handle this before, too. He's proven in that department with Kyler Murray having to wait his turn behind Baker Mayfield. But anytime his number was called, he was ready to come in there and play at a high level. And then certainly when he took over, he was the best player in college football. And now having to do that with Spencer Rattler and Tanner Mordecai, keeping those guys engaged as they waited their turn behind Jalen Hurts. So he has the recipe for that. And Caleb Williams will get in line. And when it's his turn, we think he has all the talent to be a Heisman Trophy candidate and then ultimately be a top 10 pick in the NFL draft.
Oklahoma got their guy in Caleb Williams, and we got ours. Steve Wiltfong, Barton Simmons. Thank you as always, fellas. For more from Barton and our team of college analysts, download and subscribe to the Cover 3 podcast. We'll keep you up to speed on everything on the recruiting trail to COVID concerns and anything under the sun when it comes to collegiate football. It's the Cover 3 podcast.